Good afternoon. It's now Friday, 5:30 in the p.m. And of course, this is your host for the next 25 minutes of the most interactive television show, not only in town, but in the nation. Of course, this is Representative Danny Kenyatta Davis from the 7th Congressional District of Illinois. And I've got the most wonderful, the most astute, the most actively engaged, and the most involved constituents in the United States of America. And we go from the Gold Coast to the Soul Coast, right through the west side of Chicago, all the way out to Oak Park, Maywood, Bellwood, Broadview, Hillside, Berkeley, and all those wonderful towns in Proviso Township, and of course Inglewood and the south side of Chicago, Bronzeville, just a tremendous area in which to live, work, play, and talk. It's hard not to talk politics. I don't usually do any partisan, what I call political stuff on this particular show. I don't endorse candidates and I don't do all of that kind of stuff. But I talk issues and I talk concerns and I talk for people to get as much understanding as they can. And so I'm delighted to have as my guest this afternoon the Honorable Reverend Paul Jakes Jr., who is a minister of the gospel. He's a great singer. He's a great musician. He can play piano and organ and other instruments and all of that. He's also a political and social activist. I think it runs in his blood. I think it's a part of his being. I don't know if he could do without it. And so he understands that much of the work of Jesus the Christ was not inside of a building, but was outside. I had the most wonderful experience the other day, Paul, when a gentleman stopped by to see me, and he had just wanted to stop by. He's a chaplain at the Cook County Jail, and he's involved in other kind of faith-oriented things. And he told me that he met me at the banquet where the Chicago Bible Society gives its awards out each year. And one year they gave me the Gutenberg Award.
Oh, yeah.
And I told him that it was the most important award I had ever gotten. And it was the one that I cherished it. And the reason I did is because the Gutenberg Award is given to a lay person that the Bible Society considers the work that they've done that year and their lifestyle is somewhat or expresses many of the principles and practice of the Bible.
Yes.
And of Jesus the Christ.
Yes.
And I do have that award.
Oh, yeah.
I do cherish it, and I'm glad I've got it.
Well-deserved award. Congressman, you have exemplified that as you have looked out for the homeless, as you have helped those that are blind, those that are in hospitals with all types of programs such as the Second Chance Act, which I was a witness that even in CTA in Chicago, a lot of young people who have had the opportunity to get into this program are not only making $20,000, not only $30,000, not even just $40,000, but $50,000 a year, cleaning trains and managing and doing things, giving people a chance to look out for their family. And what is also to your credit is that President Bush signed this legislation when you were in Congress, and you got it passed with a Republican president. I didn't want to have to say.
Well, that's
But-
all right. I just take the position, I really do. I remember Dr. Martin Luther King basically saying, I really don't care what they say about me. I don't care
Yeah,
what kind of prizes I may get.
yeah,
You can give me, but what I do want to say, and what he said was, I want him to say that Martin Luther King Jr. tried to help
somebody. Yes, sir.
And so
Yes,
if
sir.
you can help somebody
Yes,
along the way, then you can say that your living has not been in vain. But we're going to talk politics anyhow. The rest of
right.
We've got, I can remember being in conversations with people, learned individuals who said, I think we may have seen the last black mayor of Chicago
I've heard him say it.
that we gonna see for a long time.
Absolutely. That's what,
And some of my friends and folks my age and all that,
yeah,
so we can forget it.
yeah.
We will never see another black mayor in Chicago during our lifetimes.
Yeah,
Well, I'm still living,
here it is.
and if I live for another month or so, I will see another black mayor, African American mayor, whatever you want to call the descendants of those folks who was in the belly of the ships coming across the Atlantic,
Yeah.
and who managed to get here, even though their relatives were packed together like sardines in a can.
Yes, sir.
That I think we are going to see some of their descendants
That's right. That's right.
occupy City Hall once again.
Yes, once again.
2 African American women
Yeah.
won the election. What do you think brought us to this point? How did we get? Let me take this call before I even go there.
All right.
Caller, are you there?
Yeah, how you doing, Connie Davis? Like your guest said about the president.
Yeah.
Now, when I watch it, okay, now when she's about the president, God is showing all the people about what Donald Trump is doing.
Yeah. Donald Trump is on the hot seat in a lot of different places, and the revelations are coming forth, and people are saying what they think. And I think that my dear friend Elijah Cummings has been conducting the hearings of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee at its highest peak, highest level. And I don't have a chance to watch except the news, because while their hearings are going on, I'm generally in other hearings myself that my committee is doing. And some of those are about some of the same things, and others are others. So thank you so much, James. We appreciate your call, and have a good day. And we're going to take this other call right quick. Caller, are you there?
Good evening, Dr. Davis, U.S. Representative, 7th District, and your guest as well. Now, I don't understand certain things. What's the point of having rules? Is it not going to be followed? And we got a man holding the highest office in the country where he is given top secret security clearance. If I'm wrong, stop me if I'm wrong, okay? He won top secret security clearance for his daughter and son-in-law. And he's not doing what's in the best interest of the country. And he got his advisors telling him, don't do it. He do what he want to do. We don't have a president. It seems like we have a dictator. I just wait to listen to your comments.
Or one who wants to be a dictator, one who likes to hang out with dictators, one who likes to meet with dictators, and one who likes to act like a dictator. But my daddy used to sing a song, and he say, you can tell that long-tongued liar, you can run on for a long time, but my God Almighty gonna cut you down. Tell that midnight gambler, tell that And so eventually we will catch up to the president. We got to have him probably 2 years, but we got 2 years to fight and 2 years of struggle. And I don't mind fighting because I know if you fight, you can win. If you don't, you're going to lose. And we're going to fight for 2 years, get ourselves another president, get the Senate, get the House, and do what we need to do. So thank you so much for your call. Paul, I was about to ask you, what got us to this point where we're going to be voting to decide which of two ladies becomes mayor of Chicago?
Well, Congressman, I think that, first of all, it is the year of the woman. There are many women now in elected positions, and men, we ought to respect them and really realize that they are smart.
They're the bosses.
They know and they have learned about government. And I am actually here to say that it's a very great possibility that we might have an African American woman for president, because there's so many that have looked at the system and have come with solutions and ideas that can actually help the masses. So it is, we know they said politics is local. I mean, if we talk about everything starting somewhere, Chicago is really the genesis or ground zero to everything beginning. And so look at Chicago and then look at the nation.
That's what I told these young people. I was at the Learn School this afternoon. They gave me an award. Oh, I was so delighted.
Yeah.
6th, 7th, and 8th grade students, and they were just so wonderful. I want to thank them and their teachers and principals and all those people. And as I left them, I told them that no matter what obstacles are, they can just roll right over them.
Absolutely.
And all they got to do is study hard,
That's right.
listen to their parents, stay in school, observe the motto, good, better, and best. Never let it rest till your good becomes your better and your better becomes your best.
Yes.
And if you will do that, the sky is the limit.
Absolutely.
And so we get the opportunity now to vote for one of these two ladies.
Yes.
And then there's another African American woman who is running for city treasurer, and she is in a runoff. So, I mean, what, for all those people who thought that blacks couldn't rise to this point, what are you telling them?
Well, Representative Melissa Conyers-Irvin is a qualified, intelligent person who has all of the degrees in understanding the business side of Chicago as treasurer. And I certainly believe that her lead was something that people saw with a 44.3 lead over her challenger, Power, at 41.6. And I just, if I had to predict, she's a winner already from the start.
So you tell them that if you go to school, prepare yourself.
Absolutely.
Get all the knowledge.
Absolutely.
Get all the information.
Yes.
Learn everything that you can learn. Be as disciplined as you can be. And then believe that there is a force beyond you that can help.
Absolutely.
If you do all of that,
yes,
success is bound to come. Let's take this call. Caller, are you there?
Hi, Congressman. Hi, Congressman Lester. I got a chance to meet you a few times before, and Pastor Jake. The main reason I'm calling, I've been trying all I could. Could you have her to let the citizens know where Miss Lightfoot will campaign off of that? Because I want to make a contribution and we have some material to give up.
You mean you got some dust to share?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I don't know
Well,
that information right now.
It's right on the corner of Desplaines and Jackson. And you might remember Mitchell's restaurant is right across from it. And
Lou Mitchell's?
Lou Mitchell's,
I remember
right.
Lou Mitchell's.
Yeah.
I've eaten there a time or two.
That's right.
They have good breakfasts and a
Yeah.
lot of it.
Absolutely, and the staff is very welcoming. You can just go down there and hand them as much money as you like, and they'll receive it.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I mean, that I think is the kind of motivation, and that's the kind of America that we really want. That is an America where people can be free, they can feel free, they can do what they want to do. They don't do it because somebody else is telling them they've got to do this, they got to do that. Be free spirits, and that's what America really conveys to other folks. So we got another caller on the line. We'll go ahead. Caller, you there?
Yes, Congressman, and to your guests, it's a great day to be on God's green earth. I mean, a wonderful day. But listen, what I've been thinking about is just between the two candidates. Which one would get along with those 50 aldermen that they're going to have to deal with? I mean, both of them have had problems. Tony have had problems, and Lightfoot have had problems with the aldermen. So again, which one is going to be a little bit better than the other? And I wonder if any of them going to just cooperate. That's going to be a great big problem with either candidate. So again, it's something to think about.
Let me ask you this. The first job of an executive, somebody who becomes the CEO, is to organize the business in such a way that they can be pretty assured of what is going on. Do you think that either one of these ladies will be able to do that with the city council?
You know what? Again, that's protocol. Normally, that's how it happens. But again, you don't have no manage people to dictate to let them know how you want things to work out. It's just going to have to be her alone. Whoever it is just going to be only one. You can't give every 50 aldermen what they want. We know that. But again, how they going to respond to her? That's the main problem. I know what you're saying. But again, there's some dislikes everywhere. So again,
I tell you what Nancy Pelosi does, and of course our boss, if we don't really have no boss, our boss really are the people who elect us. And I think any member of Congress that you would ask, they would tell you that the only boss I got are my constituents. And so here's what Nancy does. Oftentimes there are competing forces in any group. You go to any church and there are two people there who'd like to be the pastor. You go to any choir, there are two people at least in the choir who'd like to be the lead singer. I'm saying, and whoever has the most influence organizes the group that it can function as a group. And so Nancy is very good at that. Nancy, like we have people who run for the same position and all, and before you know it, Nancy will create another position for whoever lost. I'm saying, whoever didn't get what they wanted, Nancy will say, well, you didn't get what you wanted, but here's something else for you. And the person will take that and run with it and be just as satisfied and just as happy as if they had won.
Yeah.
or maybe not quite as happy, but be okay. And so I think these two ladies, whichever one of them win, will kind of look at the way Nancy Pelosi does it, and I think if they do that, they'll be all right.
Yeah, I agree, Congressman. Teamwork makes the dream work. We have to find a way to get people on board, and the best way to do that is to start networking now before they get into position. Get the notebook and find out ward by ward what people want, and then write that down and make it a part of the platform if they can, and that's the way that I did it and how I built my platform when I ran for mayor of Chicago.
Well, I think the other thing is that we can't take any of this now just for granted. I'm saying let's not sit back and not be engaged and just say, well, only two candidates, one of them gonna win, and so whichever one win, that's all right. But you still gotta be in there pitching. I was watching a basketball game the other night. One team was 20-some points ahead,
Okay.
and them boys was playing as if they was 2 points behind.
Yeah.
They still was playing, shooting jump shots
right, that's
and
right.
three-pointers and trying to get the rebounds. So you can't sit back and say it's all done, because it's not all done until the last man is out.
Yes.
I mean, that's when the game's over.
Now,
When the last second ticks off the clock, that's when the last game will get done.
and you would almost think that because Preckwinkle is the president of the county board, head of the Democratic Party in Cook County, that she would have natural connections with all of the elected officials, especially in the city council. But she still wound up number 2 in this race. So what was it that Lightfoot did that got her to the point that she was the top vote getter, and will she be able to maintain that type of momentum? Now,
And still, I'm not happy with the number of people who came out to vote.
32%.
I mean,
It-
what to the other 67?
yeah,
I mean, that means twice as many people did not vote as there were who voted.
that's right. That's right.
And
That's
so
right.
that means that a large number of people didn't participate. Let me tell you.
Just checked out.
This is the last day of Black History Month this year. And if you think of the fact that for years, black people were treated and were indeed slaves and couldn't vote, and women. Women did not get the right to vote in this country until 1920. And so women, blacks, other minorities went through a lot of stuff
That's right.
just to get the right to vote. So don't sit back and say, I don't need to get up, I don't need to do it. We got 30 seconds, you got them.
Well, let me thank you so much, Congressman, for this opportunity. I encourage not only just women to vote, but African Americans too. Men, we got to get out there. We've got to make a choice. And I hope by next week I'll make up my mind. But at this point, I'm still looking at the candidates' platform.
Well, I'm as happy as a felock because we do have the opportunity coming up. And please get ready, know what you need to know, get out there and do it. We'll see you next week. And until then, do something good for yourself and even better for somebody else. We'll see you then. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.